I think Jimbo Fisher, because of the recruiting class that he just had, because of his buyout, has a little bit longer. Now, there's a lot of heat coming from the bottom of that seat. That doesn't mean he's going to get out of it quicker. He may have to endure that heat longer than Mel Tucker does. I think it's easier to get rid of Mel Tucker sooner than Jimbo Fisher at this point, is the way that I'm answering that, and that's what I'm going to say.
Go ahead, my man. Jake, what you got?
Based on what I know, that it isn't Michigan State. Like, Mel Tucker's bought himself time. He's bought himself a year or two. Based on what I see going on in A&M, and based on the deep pockets that has oil money down there in Texas, it's like, hey, yeah, we can afford the buyout. I mean, it's neither situation is pretty though, but it's about expectations and meeting them. And when you fall short, that seat gets a little toasty. To me, though, the expectations for A&M, I mean, look at where they were ranked to start the season.
6.
Yep.
6.
A&M or Michigan State, I always felt this was going to be a regression year.
Yes.
I always felt they were going to regress, and it was going to take time to build the class. A&M, you sold me on something, and now I didn't get the product I was promised.
And I'll say this about A&M. I do watch a lot of A&M football, being a fan and a former player, and to go on year 2 of not having a guy at the quarterback position that can get it done week in and week out. And I say year 2 is last year was a miracle. They played with a guy who is now either the 3rd or 4th string guy at Auburn.
Yeah.
And they beat Alabama, and they won some games, and they snuck by with a winning season. You think that Jimbo Fisher and that staff weren't looking around going, we got to find a guy. And to still not have that guy after multiple years of recruiting and now going on year 2 of instability at the position, that's what raises my antennas and says, ooh, this isn't good. Not to mention all the stuff going on off the field. Now, let's be honest real quick. All of this stuff that goes on off the field gets heightened when you're losing games.
Yes.
I truly believe that winning cures all. And yes, you're going to always have guys that aren't doing right. But when you're losing and they just want to pile it on your shoulders in the media, it comes out more and more and more. So I don't think it's any different than any other year, but it's just piled on when you're not winning ball games.
Yeah, we'll be quick. Go ahead, Jake.
One quick thing. Even with the expectations for A&M this year, it was always about 23 though. It was always saying, hey, we're going to just trust us. 23 is going to be the year. Okay. Well, the clock's ticking. If it's the same result next year at this point in time, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think that they're both. I don't think anyone gets a chopping block this year, A&M or at Michigan State. I think they both get afforded till next year.
Yeah, I think they both push to next year. I will say, obviously, the off the field stuff we're talking about, 3 A&M players rumored to be suspended. We're going to see what happens. Obviously, they had some guys suspended to start the season, including Aeneas Smith. So we're going to see what goes on there. Let's wrap up on this. A&M, they've got Ole Miss, Florida, Auburn, UMass, and LSU. 5 games left. They're a 3-4 football team. 5 left. They're 3-4. How many of those can they put in the bag to get to a bowl game? 5 left. They're 3-4. They need 3 out of Ole Miss, Florida, Auburn, UMass, and LSU. UMass, I'm going to give it to them, all right? So they need 2 out of Ole Miss, Florida, Auburn, and LSU.
They beat Auburn.
Okay, so we're at 5.
I think I hate saying this, but if we're just talking about it right now, I don't think they make a bowl game this year.
We're dropping our merch.
We got to start calling Underwood Daddy Brad.
But I'm a big pod guy.